How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are talking about 3 underrated prospects for the 2025 NBA draft that I've been looking at and that I'm pretty high on. Let's talk about some guys that don't really get as much love as your Cooper Flags, your Ace Baileys, or whoever. And if you like this kind of content, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We're on our way to 10K by the end of the year. We have 1 month to hit it, and I really think it is going to happen. Y'all are the best. Appreciate all the support. Number 1, a guy who I almost have in the lottery, Jeremiah Fears. I don't think I ever did a video about him, but I loved him in high school, and I just had to start with this play. Against Arizona, a lot of these players, and even when we're talking about later in this video, don't play amazing competition early in the season. Fears this was his best game against one of the top 25, a ranked team. I don't know if Arizona's actually that good this year. Fears just has, at like 6'3"-ish probably, has a really impressive combination of shooting ability off the dribble and burst off of the dribble. He is so quick and explosive, easily burns that switch in space, and you can just see the way that he's patient and plays with the ball in his hands. He's going to snake this pick and roll right now. He definitely does play too fast at times, as a lot of young point guards do, but Fears could be playing in high school right now. He reclassed to be eligible to play at Oklahoma this year, and Fears is shooting the ball really well too. I love how deep he spots up here. This is well beyond the line. And Fears is just going to cash this confidently. That volume and his shot confidence and the different types of shots he takes are really encouraging. I think guys who shoot from really deep range, that's just a very good indicator for shooting development. Not just because the line is farther in the NBA or anything, but because I think it just shows an ability to be more adaptable and to bend the defense even further out. Now, Fears is definitely turning the ball over a good amount. Sometimes he can be too fast, kind of get himself into poor situations, and then make those decisions worth with turnovers, or he loses his handle. But Fears is handling like a historic offensive load, and I don't say that lightly. We're going to look at Jeremiah Fears, 33 usage freshmen. These are the freshmen since 2008. There's only 13 of these guys. Jeremiah Fears, Michael Beasley, Trae Young, Tyreek Evans, the notable names. These guys are sorted by efficiency. Out of all of the 33 usage freshmen since 2008, Fears is the most efficient. Now, obviously, there's a good chance he regresses, but his shooting indicator, it's 86% from the line, great volume, 7 threes per 100 possession, and getting a ton of steals as well, making good decisions, turning the ball over a lot, like we said, but still maintaining a positive assist to turnover ratio. And I think usage and just minutes and responsibility are a really big indicator for future success. And Fears is a really nice passer as well. He can handle a decent little bit of playmaking load, basic pick and roll lob over top there, but his ability to handle this creation load as a teenager playing in college basketball is really impressive, and he's really good at leveraging his ability to get downhill and use that to his threat as a passer. He's not the most complicated, advanced, manipulative passer in the world, but Fears can utilize his great advantage creation. He bends the defense with his physical tools, his handle, his explosion, gets right around the hedge, and of course he has a clear lane to the rim, but help defenders are all going to shoot down to him because of it. Easy pass out top to his teammate right there. That's just easy, smart basketball, and advantage creators like Fears don't really have to be as incredible of passers to get the most, or just vision, manipulation, and I don't know how else to say it, but Fears is just one of those guys who moves different. The way that he changes speeds here, the way that he can kind of just fluidly glide around the court, really damn impressive. And I love this pass. Look at Fears just zipping that ball down. Really, really impressive play. But yeah, Fears has been phenomenal this year. And I really think this is a lottery potential talent in a really elite class. And yeah, obviously he might cool down from the field for sure, but I am very encouraged by him being able to command this much usage as a freshman in college basketball and be really successful. More than just the hot shooting, it's the way that he's getting his shots. It's how explosive he is and how easy some of his looks are. And that kind of just easiness of how his game is a good translator to the league. So definitely has some things to clean up. Just, focus, turnovers, a lot of normal freshman things. I'm really high on Fears' talent, and I'm really excited to see how he continues to progress as Oklahoma keeps playing better competition. And Speaking of competition, our second guy is Georgetown freshman Thomas Sorber, who has only played one good team, Notre Dame, but has been absolutely incredible. He was a decently known recruit, played on team final with Jaleel Bethea, and has really impressed me to start this with his offensive and his defensive play. Sorber here is going to start and drop, and he's not like the tallest center ever, 6'10", I think, but you can see how monstrous his wingspan, his explosion, getting up to block that shot at its high point. Just a ridiculous defensive playmaker, and his movement skills, like, this is freaky shit. This is insanely freaky shit that Sorber is doing. Obviously not the greatest competition, right? Gotta note that, but look at how he flips his hips here. He's gonna take his top foot right here, open up so he can slide. That is very impressive for a 6'10" freshman center who can explode and block shots like that. And this is just an incredible defensive possession. Oh my lord. Sorber initially starts out in drop coverage, using his hands, staying balanced right here, and on the kick out, he initially kind of gets beat right now, but again, turns his hip, is able to recover and block that shot. That kind of like slow change of direction isn't the greatest thing in the world, but I think I accidentally put this clip in twice. Anyways, it's like a clip that's worthy of watching twice anyway. Sorber is a ridiculous defensive player, and his upside on that end, I think, could be really high because of this mobility. And of course, just being a smaller center will always be the thing. But if he can really be like a more switchable guy who can work on the exterior, on the perimeter of the court, that's going to be huge. And Sorber is like producing at a really high level as well. Shout out to my guy, Rowe, at Pick and Roll. This is Blue Sky. You should follow me on Blue Sky. The vibes here are good, but made this really cool graphic to show that Sorber is like pretty much producing like Michael Beasley, Keegan Murray, Zion Williamson, Chris Bosh, Chris Webber in terms of his usage rate and his true shooting, his block steal, free throw rate. You can just read the graphic right here. It's really impressive production. And of course, he hasn't played great competition yet, but his offense is really fun too. Like a great, monstrous offensive rebounder, so physical and just explosive around the basket, and has some real skill and enticing flashes. Like Sorber's not a great shooter, but he's willing to take a three every now and again. Look at them running an invert pick and roll, allowing Sorber to get downhill and finish through traffic. Like really good stuff. And this pass is just, oh my lord, zips that in there. This is, I don't know if this is a zone or just like kind of big gaps and help. But look at that freaking laser beam. Absolutely beautiful pass by Sorber. And yeah, he's a really interesting prospect to me. I am pretty high on him for the moment, just betting on these physical tools as well as his feel for the game, his production at a young age. There's a lot to like with Sorber. Skilled, smart, toolsy big, who I think is going to play himself onto NBA radars. And the third guy is not a freshman. It would have been so easy to do off freshman. Sophomore or junior, I think, Miles Byrd, 6'7"-ish wing at San Diego State. His defense is the headliner. Has ridiculous block and steal rates, and Byrd uses his length and his great instincts to steal entry passes like he did right there. Byrd here is going to just kind of shut down this defense, and he really is one of those players who can be a one-man wrecking crew on the defensive end, and we'll break this possession down a bit more, but we're going to see the end here, Byrd just blocking this shot. He really is so smart when it comes to timing his rotations and blowing up handoffs, and you can see his agility. He's not the strongest guy in the world, but he's really good at getting skinny around this screen right here. Going to end up switching, like really good communicator. This San Diego State defense is always great, of course, but look, this is a really kind of underrated part of this possession. Byrd, this big man's trying to get position here. Byrd pushes him all the way out to outside the paint and, of course, helps on the drive, ends up blocking him 1v1. Just like a very versatile defender with a lot of different ways he can win. This is maybe my favorite play of the whole video from any of these guys. Like, this is just pure instinct, reading of the game, and athletic twitch as well to get there. Creighton's running a nice little screen here for the shooter. Gets totally clocked, and look at it. This is a wide open three usually, right? But Byrd realizes this is happening, darts over to block this shot. Like, that is his instincts and his ability to read the play combined with athletic tools. And he really, you can see how long his arms are, and you can see his length pop on these plays where he pokes the ball up from behind. Just a very impressive physical profile. And even though he's not the strongest guy in the world, he can be physical and like bump ball handlers on the ball. And I think part of that is his leverage and how low he gets. Like, look at how athletic this stance is. He's almost his torso almost parallel to the ground, his shin and his calf like really anchored well with his back foot here, and he's able to slide, bump with his leg. Being good at contact points is really important for defense, and I love seeing Byrd take this kind of leg contact, totally not get knockbacks at all, rise up and block the shot. Byrd's defense is really great, and his statistical production as well, really great. Just like so many greens, look at those block and steal rates. That's like Matisse Thybulle, Marcus Smart stuff. And 2 assist to turnover ratio, smoking from everywhere. Critically, the free throw percentage on very low free throws. One of my concerns with him is also his ability to get downhill, to finish at the rim, even though he, 8 shots at the rim. And his volume is honestly crazy. It's definitely more than it was last year, I believe, where, Byrd shot 73s in total last year. This season, he's already shot 31 through 5 games. So definitely good to see that volume and, of course, his minute share go up. But just like, these are the guys in college right now. Assist to turnover ratio above 2, block rate above 3, steal rate above 3. And hey, Thomas Sorber is there. Shout out a 2-1 query for my guys. And there's like, Demeen. Cam Williams is a guy who I really like, freshman at Tulane, interesting player. Shout out Mongolian Mike Sheriff Jams. YouTube channel legend right there. But Byrd's offense is definitely probably the more shaky part, I guess. He's a good offensive player, and a lot is going to hinge on how the shooting holds up, but he is a really sick passer as well. Like, not the most incredible, like, athlete, downhill creator, but great job whipping this pass inside out of the pick and roll. Like, he can really read the floor and make some high-level plays with his skill, and he's really good coming off of these staggered screens. San Diego State runs some pro-style actions, right, where they're going to have these 2 screens, 1, 2, to get Byrd around. And, of course, he can shoot it or he can curl in. And number 5 here is going to roll. Byrd is going to pass him over the top. Like, good vision, able to execute and make decisions on the move. And, okay, I lied. This might actually be my favorite play in the video. Oh, my goodness. Also, shout out Farrah Compton, who dunks this ball. I'm a fan of his as well. But, my lord. Look at him. Stares at the wing. This low man defender's like, oh shit, I gotta go over there. Oh my goodness, absolute filthy manipulation there. Whew, Miles Byrd. Okay, man. Really, really good stuff. And like I said, not the craziest finisher and doesn't draw a lot of fouls, so it might be hard for him to be super efficient without the shot. Just like we said, like, he's very low and close to the ground, and he can use that to generate power, but there's a level of explosion that you need to have that Byrd just doesn't have at this point. And like I said before, shooting has been awesome to start this year, and he can drive a little bit off of that. Great crossover to get downhill, and Byrd's ability as an off-ball shooter is really enticing to me. Look how quickly he sets his feet here. When he catches the ball, instantly plants his left foot back, plants his right foot back, and then just sets up. His jumper is so pure, and I love how instead of angling at the rim, he angles his feet kind of towards the baseline almost, and I think that helps him get set more quickly on shots like this, where he doesn't have to get his feet twisted all the way around necessarily. Spain pick and roll here, again, NBA style action that Byrd is executing as a screener, so teams are going to love that Byrd not only has these traits, but has already shown that he can do NBA style stuff on both ends. As a versatile help defender and as an offensive player, I think Byrd is a guy who's going to get himself drafted if he keeps playing like this, right? Like, I would probably draft him in like the mid, early second-ish round right now. He's playing really, really well, and if the offense continues to be strong, I could see myself being quite high on Byrd. It's a really weak returner class. Most of the stars of this draft class are the freshmen, but aren't a ton of guys who are like really standing out coming back from college, and Byrd has been one of the pleasant surprises to me of the early season. So those are 3 prospects that I have my eye on. I think you should have your eye on them as well. Jeremiah Fears at Oklahoma, Thomas Sorber at Georgetown, and Miles Byrd at San Diego State. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a great day.